What is up, guys? This is Linthio coming at you with an updated version of my Satellarknight deck profile. Now, yes, I do love this deck oh so much, and there have been a few times where I thought maybe I might get a bit bored of this deck, but every time I play it, it's just so much fun to play, and I really enjoy doing it. So, without further ado, we'll go straight into the deck profile so you can see how it's shaping up for the 1st April ban list. So to start us off, we have the 3 Deneb. You know, you don't really need to say much about this. You have to run Deneb if you want to run this deck competitively. It's the main card that you kind of search. So that's what we need to really say about Deneb. Then we have the 3 Altair. This is, again, just one of the main cards. Just being able to even do the simple Altair Deneb play. It's just so good. And you couple it with Vega. Anything like that, it's just such a strong card. So again, don't really need to say much about it. It's a very standard lineup. Then we have the 2 Anuk. I really like this card because, one, it's quite beefy. The 1800 attack is pretty strong, and the effect to ditch out of the deck just means that you can set up a little bit more. You can set up some of those Altair plays. Maybe you put like Vega into the graveyard so you can just make some more plays and such. It's just a really good card, and it's a forward thinking card, which I do like about the card. And it's also, you know, you're deck thinning at the end of the day. Then we have 2 Vega. I really like this card as well. It's not the best one, and some people play 1. I never recommend 3 unless you're running a certain type of build, but nevertheless, it's a really solid card. Really do like it in the deck, and it really does help me a lot. So running it at 2 has been a perfect ratio. The one of is just Cirrus. Every time I play this deck, and especially in long games, when I didn't have this card, I really wish I did. And, you know, there's only a certain amount of times you can do Altair plays, because at the end of the day, you only have 3, and if you are playing a bit of a grind game, you need to be able to back yourself up and not run out of steam like a lot of them do if you don't run this. I know that you can use Emerald to, you know, obviously shuffle them back in, but if I'm completely honest, that means more of a push. I need to waste one of my XE summons to be able to just shuffle them back in. And while this has more of a cost, having to have 5 monsters, I just prefer the risk, to be honest. So it's been working out really nicely for me to be completely honest. And then the final monsters, we have 2 Honest. Honest is here because every monster you run is light in the main deck and, you know, the extra deck, and it's just really solid card. You can loop it nicely with your trivia plays with Call and Haunting and such. So Honest has just been working out really nice, and it just means that, you know, when your monsters are a little bit less beefy, it means that you can just back them up with a bit of a play. So going into the spells, we have the 3 Rotor. Don't even really need to say much about this. You run the 3 Rotor, you run as maximum amount as possible because you run Warriors. Then to back that up, we have the 3 MST. Technically, you could probably cut this down simply because there isn't that much back row going around currently with the floodgates being hit. But I still like to have it in the main deck just in case for the first rounds. And then you can always side it out or adjust the ratio to your liking. 2 Skybridge, still rocking the Skybridge, and I really do enjoy it. It just means it turns dead hands into something a lot better. It also means you can push for more damage on board. And in general, I think it's a really underrated card in the deck. So 2 Skybridge is working well. I did have it at 1, and I just didn't see it as much as I wanted to. So yeah, it's really solid. 1 Book of Moon just to stop anything like Winder or any problem cards that we don't really like. But just in general, Book of Moon's a great card. Raigeki just for, you know, pushing through any annoying monsters or pushing through any boards that you just don't really want to see, and you may be OTK over it, but, you know, it's down to how you want to play the card. And Soul Charge is just really strong as well because you can just do your trivia plays, and it means that your opponent can have that turn if they so wish the next turn because you can't attack. Just means it's a really solid and not exactly a drawback. And then going on to the traps, we have the 3 Nova. This is simply here because it's the best card in the deck. Nova is just so good. Being able to negate basically anything and getting a draw off it as long as you destroy the card is just really strong. So it just means that, you know, you want to see this hopefully first turn so you can kind of dictate the duel. And also a lot of people are scared of it. You put a Satellarknight on board and back row, and they'll always assume that you've got the Alpha. It's really interesting as well because you can bluff quite nicely with this card. You can maybe summon, like, first turn if you've got a brick hand, you can summon a Vega and then just set everything if you can do that. And if you've got a brick hand, that's probably what you've got unless you've got loads of monsters. But you can also bluff the fact that you've got the Nova, and they will adjust their play just to be cautious. Only a player who really thinks they can read you will probably push through it, or someone who maybe doesn't even know what alpha is. But at the end of the day, people will be cautious if you set up like that. Then we have the 3 Fiendish Chain. Stop effects simply because, you know, it's there. I prefer it to breakthrough skill simply because I can stop attacks as well. And being the fact that, you know, Satellarknights are low attack normally, it just means that it's an extra bit of boost. Then we have the 2 Mind Crush, and yes, I must show these off. My CP Mind Crushes, I love them so much. I have another one over there. Mind Crush is a really strong card, this format. Being able to stop any, you know, searches, or let's say stop, but be able to call out what the search is. And not only that, get the intelligence and the knowledge of your opponent's hand is just really, really strong. So I really like Mind Crush currently, and maining it is just a really nice thing. It just means that, you know, you go against like Naklos, for example, and you can really just dictate the duel from the moment go, because you can check what they've got in the hand and ditch anything that you don't like. 2 Call the Haunted, this is paired with the 2 Oasis. I tested a lot of ratios with these, with the 1 and 3 and 3 and 1 and so on and so forth. But it just works out nicely like this. I really do prefer it. The Oasis is there to stop the OTKs from your opponent. It just means you get a monster in defense. And Call the Haunted is just Call the Haunted. Both of them could be sent back with Trigger, so that is all good. One of the Mirror Forces are here simply because, you know, it's just nice to stop your opponent and catch them off guard, attacking into your monsters. So just a little bit of extra protection. One of the new unbanned cards, we have Ring of Destruction. This is here because, you know, it works well with your Satellarknight boss monsters, so Trigger and also Deltaros. It just works nice. But Ring of Destruction in general is just nice for hitting away at some damage that your opponent has on board. So Ring of Destruction, really solid card in my opinion. The 1 Solemn Warning, again, this is a very much control-based deck in the way that you play the deck, basically, in your games. And a Solemn Warning is just really solid for that. And then finally we have the 1 Vanity's Emptiness, the newly limited card. Card's still really good in my opinion, and the deck that, you know, Satellarknights are, it's a really solid choice for the main deck. So going on to the extra deck now, we have Satellarknight Diamonds. We have 1 copy. You can side more if you think you're going to go up against things like Shaddolls and Burning Abyss. Shaddolls are kind of in a rise and up and coming this format again because they didn't get hit at all on the ban list. So you're going to be seeing more of them. So siding another Diamond's always nice, but the extra deck is really tight. 2 Trigger, best card in my opinion. Being able to bounce and ditch a card is just so incredible. And not only that, but you get Special Summon from Grave and just set off all your effects. So Trigger, absolutely stunning card, and one that should be played at 2. Deltaros, this card, you know, it's just your other name. If Star Zephyrs come out, this goes up to 2 straight away, just because Zephyrs can go into them so easily. So Deltaros is a really strong card still. Then the other rank 4s, we have the 1 Lavarval Chain, just for some setup plays, you know, Call the Haunted plays if you want to foolish anything to the graveyard. The 1 Extra Knight, these should be all standard for you guys. The Gandiva for the mirror or anything like that. The 1 Zant on a Arc, because it is still nice to have just in case, because it's just really solid. I don't play 2 Castel in this one, just so you know. The 1 Omega, because, you know, you run lights and if you want to bait out any back row. The 1 Star Liege Paladynamo, again, you run lights and it's actually pretty useful at times. The 1 Castel, I've cut it down from 2 just because I want to experiment more with other card choices in the extra deck. And I didn't really go into him all that much. There were some games that I did, but nevertheless. The 1 Cowboy, because, you know, you can shoot for game. The 1 Abyss Dweller, because, as I said, you can go against Shadows, Burning Abyss, Mermels even, so really solid card. The 1 Kargon, just because it's a nice choice. And then finally the 1 Rapstein Berserk, because you can just control your opponent's graveyard nicely. So that's it, guys. I hope you did enjoy the deck profile. Really loving the deck right now. I think it's a really strong contender with Burning Abyss. Well, I say Burning Abyss, but they did get a little bit hit. But with Quillfort getting hit and, you know, Neklos kind of getting a little bit hit. But the most important thing is the skill drain and the vanities going to 1. This deck's kind of got a new kind of vibe to it. And a lot of people will not expect this for the first, say, couple of weeks or month of the format. But I really think this is a really strong choice of deck because it's just really quick, very consistent, and has a lot of support on it. to be able to just, you know, last out the meta. So I want to know what you guys think of the deck. Obviously, there's more support coming up, which is going to be exciting. So again, as I said, let me know down in the comment section below what you think of the deck profile. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I should catch you guys later.